YouTube, Dawson Rider here with another Power Rangers theory video. So this year I rewatched Legendary Battle, everyone's favorite episode of all time, easily surpassing Forever Red in the fandom memories, for my Team Up Rewind review series. And in this I started to think again about the Ranger keys and where they came from, mainly because I really noticed how Troy kept mentioning in the episode that the Legendary Rangers put their trust in them. And that got me thinking about, again, like how were they involved with the Ranger keys? And this is all my theory, obviously, since it's called Power Rangers theory, and speculation as to how this happened, because as of this recording we have not got an explanation. I think this is something that would be really cool to expand on a comic. Wink wink, nudge nudge. Basically, my sort of theory and speculation was, since Gosei said Zordon placed him on Earth to protect it, I imagine there was maybe multiple layers to that. Like, basically the Megaforce powers were there for Gosei to recruit a team with if there was ever just a run-of-the-mill threat, like the original Insectoid threat from the beginning. But maybe he and Zordon laid the groundwork for a larger contingency plan or backup thing, which is the keys. And, you know, Zordon done got killed at some point, but I think that maybe the groundwork was laid there, and Gosei worked with other mentors and veteran Rangers to basically lay out this break glass in case of emergency system of the Ranger keys. So you would have this team that was able to access all of the Ranger powers throughout the morphing grid, as well as maybe acting as a pseudo backup for the Ranger powers. And it kind of ties into how I've always viewed the Ranger powers, especially after this series, is that once a Ranger power is created and accessed, I always envisioned it kind of created like an imprint blueprint data backup in the morphing grid, and that's how the Rangers access it. When they access the grid, it like kind of downloads it in a way, and so when they're cut off from it or it's destroyed, the echo or the backup of that power still exists. The connection just needs to be reestablished. So effectively, the keys allow them to access that connection. So when mmpr Red morphs, he's accessing the connection to those powers stored on the morphing grid, and the the mmpr Red key allows Troy to access, like literally a key into that data, to access that data from the morphing grid. And that's kind of what I imagined, that they thought, okay, we'll have these powers that allow this team to access all the Ranger powers on the grid, as well as maybe acting as a backup in case something ever happens to our powers. That point is kind of headcanon, like purely speculation on my part, but that's why they said they trusted it to him. Like, I don't think it was every single Legendary Ranger. I mean, they all showed up at the end, but there was obviously new powers and stuff. But a general consensus of Rangers entrusted whoever would be the Super Megaforce team with these powers. I also imagine there was some sort of rule that either, I don't think, do we ever see anybody fight alongside each other while Legendary changed in the series? Not in Gokaiger, but in this series, I don't remember. But I imagine there was some sort of rule where they either couldn't access the same powers at the same time, or it was ill-advised. Meaning, like if Jason was morphed and fighting, Troy could not use the mmpr Red key because he's literally borrowing from that same power, unless it's a copy. But that was my interpretation. Or it would be a situation like a too much pink energy is dangerous situation, or like the two Dino Thunder White Rangers, where they could technically both exist, but it wasn't sustainable, so they could morph at the same time, but it wouldn't be a good idea. And that was just kind of my thoughts. I think that there was some sort of contingency laid out, maybe further inspired after Countdown to Destruction to get the wheels turning on that, in case a threat on the level of the Armada eventually arrived, that they would have a backup system and a weapon for the Super Megaforce team. And that's gonna kind of be my loose headcanon until we maybe get an answer sometime down the road. Who knows? But what do you guys think? What is your personal explanation or headcanon for the Ranger keys? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, before I comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you can get notifications for my videos. Dawson Rider, signing out.